I've been thinking about this Kothism video for the last few days. I've been trying to make another video, but I've had a little bit of trouble getting motivated, and this seemed like a good opportunity to make something goofy and fun again, because I had so much fun making the last video. But I can't even really have a whole lot of fun with it, because this video's just such hot garbage. It's kinda scummy and gross, on top of just being tone deaf and weird. I really can't put it into words, so I kind of just have to go over it. But unlike his other video, there aren't points that I can counter with my own. He's just sort of meanders on for 8 minutes, and there's no definite edge from one point to the other. It all kind of flows into one giant log of shit. So this video might come across a little awkward, but I'm gonna do what I can here to make this palatable, let's say. This is gonna get weird.
I feel like it's time to talk about this pedophile video, rumors, and meme that's been following me lately. I won't be using any visuals or music in this video because I don't want them to distract from the message.
So, real quick, I do think he's seen my video specifically. A lot of the points I made in my video have likely been made in other places, but I specifically pointed out that it sounded like he used SpongeBob music in his pedophile video. I don't think anyone else made fun of that. So I think the fact that he felt the need to avoid those things is a sign that he has seen my video. Then again, maybe it's just because he doesn't want to do the extra work on this cringe fest. God knows I don't want to do the extra work to make this interesting, but here we are.
However, I do tend to be overdramatic, so be aware of that.
Overdramatic doesn't really begin to describe what he's going to say.
About 2 years ago, I made a video talking about pedophiles. The gist of it was that we should judge people based on their actions, not their thoughts.
When he gives his thesis statement, it sounds reasonable. But when people are discussing pedophilia, they're not talking about the people who are attracted to children and never do anything. They're talking about the people who rape children. So bringing up this other group of pedophiles that doesn't do anything is irrelevant. I think when people say pedophiles need to be burned at the stake, there's the implication that they're talking about people who have raped or molested children. Not specifically this mythical, virtuous pedophile that, again, probably doesn't exist.
I made this video because I feel like it's unfair to criminalize and hate people simply for the thoughts they have, especially when it's necessary that they come forward with these thoughts so that they can seek some kind of help. I feel that fear of expressing thoughts causes emotional disharmony and mental illness.
See, he's just tiptoeing around what his video was actually about. He's trying to make it bigger than it really was. The video was called In Defense of Pedophiles. The video's about pedophilia. It's not about thought crime. If you made thought crime and talked about how awful thought crime is and how thought policing is bad, you probably wouldn't have gotten the response you got.
Others saw the video but seemed to be outrageously offended by the idea that someone would show any amount of compassion toward people with pedophilic thoughts.
These people are angry that I am compassionate. He's trying to paint himself as a paragon in this video, and he does it quite often. And every once in a while, he'll give a little self-criticism, but it's like a very tiny dose of poison. He gives 1, and he takes 5. That's an analogy, and in my head, I was thinking of taking, like, cards out of a deck, but you're not in my head, so you didn't know that. So it's a bad analogy, and I'm sorry.
Others, through some misinterpretation of what I said, assumed that I was a pedophile. And others, perhaps understood what I meant, but perpetuated the rumors because it was funny to them, or because they didn't like me to begin with.
I think he's talking about me there, too. I'm not sure on that. That sounds like me, though.
First of all, I should be completely clear and say that I'm not a pedophile. In the video, I said I was not attracted to humans at all. People didn't seem to understand what I meant. It's my fault for assuming that the only people who would ever watch the video was my own audience, who do know what that means. For everyone else, it's very simple. My sexual attraction lies with dragons and various other imaginary creatures.
This is irrelevant. It's not that people didn't understand, it's that people didn't believe you. We see this a lot when people who are accused of doing awful things, they will admit to a lesser evil and say like, well, I couldn't have done that because I'm doing this. There are two examples that jump to mind in this exact situation. One was Nick Bates, convicted pedophile Nick Bates, who said he could not have raped his little sister because he can only get off to human feces, and his sister had wiped her ass at the time of the alleged incident. So he couldn't have raped her. The other is Kevin Spacey, who said that he couldn't have done whatever he did because he was gay. It didn't work for either of them, and it's not really going to work here. You don't have to qualify that you can't be a pedophile because you only fuck dragons. Just say you're not a pedophile. That's it. You don't have to give this weird... And also, you could want to fuck baby dragons and you'd still be a pedophile.
As an autistic child with few friends, I found comfort in the fantasy world of books, movies, and video games. I think I related most to dragon characters because, like myself, they were seen as outcasts.
He's going to spend a lot of time in this section of the video building himself up as a victim. He's going to draw parallels to imagery that you're already familiar with and that you associate with those who are victims. It's completely irrelevant. Here he is talking about how he was an outcast, how he was a loner, how he found solace in fiction. Didn't you guys ever get bullied and you watched your favorite movie to feel better? I'm just like you guys. Doesn't matter. Has nothing to do with anything we're talking about.
They are something everyone fears and hates, so they live alone. I was the same.
That he also implies there that people fear him. People might hate him, but fear? Come on.
I did not identify with humans, and I hardly felt human. I identified with dragons. So I suppose it only follows that I would become attracted to them in a more romantic sense as I grew older.
I don't follow that line of logic. I don't see I like these things as a kid, so it makes sense that I don't want to fuck them. I liked a lot of things as a kid that I don't want to fuck as an adult. See, there's just that little jump there that's very sudden. It's not like a main point, so you maybe don't focus on it, but it's weird, right? Something's a little off when you hear that. And as the video goes on, those pile up, and they get way weirder.
Teenage males are obsessed with sex, and they talk about it constantly. In school, I was often accused of being gay because I didn't have a girlfriend.
He's going to talk about this gay thing. Pay attention here. Pay attention to where his point is going.
Not only by the other kids, but by my own father. Back then, being gay was the worst thing you could be.
So he's talking as if he is gay, and he was being victimized by others for being gay.
Especially with conservative parents, especially in a conservative area, especially in an ultra-conservative Christian school funded by conservative parents who didn't much like the idea that someone rumored to be gay was mingling with their perfect Christian children.
He's painting this image that he was this young man living in the Bible Belt with a bunch of prudish, ignorant, conservative Christian types who disliked him for something he can't control.
I felt that my only option was to be honest and tell people that I liked dragons.
Do you see that? People thought I was gay, so I had to be honest and tell them I wanted to fuck dragons. There's a lot to unpack in that point, but I think the most important thing here is that he's not gay. He was never gay. So all that gay imagery and that picture he was painting of being a gay man ostracized by a society that hates him for something he can't control, it's not true. It doesn't actually apply to him. But now you've already made these assumptions, and you're going to keep those assumptions for the rest of the video. That's the point where I was watching the video where I took the turn from, oh, this will be funny, to, man, that's fucked. Like, come on, don't take other people's shitty experiences to cover for your dumb YouTube video, you idiot.
I was deeply ashamed of myself for being sexually attracted to dragons.
You should be. It's weird.
I saw probably over a dozen different counselors and therapists when I was younger, but none of them had answers for me. I suppose that this is why I have some amount of understanding for pedophiles, who probably find themselves in a similar position.
Alright, there's a major difference here, which is that you're never gonna fuck a dragon. But a pedophile can rape a child fairly easily. A minor action for a pedophile could have traumatic experiences on a young child. There's a clear distinction there. Whereas the closest you can come to fucking a dragon is fucking a dude in a dragon costume, which is still legal.
As I got older, I came to accept myself as someone who just liked dragons a little too much. I was secure with it. It was joked about by my friends, coworkers, and later my YouTube audience. I suffered a tremendous amount of ridicule from the Christian community, the internet, and my own father, but all of that suffering led to my ability to accept myself, so it was very much worth it.
I don't understand why do we need to know any of this shit that he was into dragons? It just has nothing to do with the pedophile stuff, period.
But to be accused of being a pedophile is something I don't know how to deal with. I cannot accept it because it's not true. It aggravates me because my entire life I've been scorned for my dragon fetish. How now can I be scorned for something that the former precludes?
I feel like these are just unnecessary details. Like, it's kind of enough that you don't want to be called a pedophile when you're not a pedophile. That's reasonable. You don't have to qualify it any more than that.
I am simultaneously mocked for two mutually exclusive things. At least, that's how it seems to me.
They're not mutually exclusive. You can still want... I mean, for one thing, there's no reason why you couldn't want to fuck dragons and children, but you could want to fuck dragon children. That would still kind of make you a pedophile. If you're a lolicon, you're a pedophile. Sorry, guys. That's the truth. Alright? I don't care if she's a vampire and she's 1,000 years old. She's a little girl. You're gonna make me hurl. Yep. That's the joke. That's the joke, Dylan. That's the joke that best fits this circumstance right now. God damn it, you're funny. You're so fucking funny, Dylan. God, everyone's so lucky to have you in their lives. You're just a fucking endless well of joy and humor and fun. Oh!
To others, I suppose, they lump all people with some form of sexual deviancy together. Perhaps people always saw me the same as they saw a pedophile. Maybe that's why the furry community is so hated.
See, these points are just completely meaningless. It's like he's trying to convince himself that his other points about being gay and a pedophile and a furry actually do connect. They don't. Like, maybe some people do that. That has no relevance to your current situation. They're not saying you're a pedophile because you're a furry. They're saying you're a pedophile because you made a big video defending pedophilia.
To be accused of being a pedophile is something I was not prepared for. I imagine that no one is prepared for it. It's something that is seen as worse than murder. It is, perhaps, the worst thing you can be in Western society.
It's weird, isn't it, that they always specify Western society as if being a pedophile is acceptable in Japan? It isn't. Very many people posted on my last video about his pedophile video that the age of consent in Japan being 13 is a myth. That's maybe like the overall age of consent, but different prefectures have different laws, and the age of consent is usually a lot more in line with what we would consider acceptable.
There is a certain pain and despair that comes with the accusation. Something that's impossible to describe.
So he's gonna fucking sit here and give you a bunch of misery porn real fast.
It's a worse pain than the years of torment that came with being the autistic kid in school. It's worse than the abuse from my father. It's worse than the guilt over the people who died because of me when I was in the army.
What the fuck, dude? Come on. This dude must have been like a mechanic or something. He never actually saw combat. So he was like, but I oil the guns that they use to murder children. Oh, like, come on.
I completely understand now why some people who are accused of such things turn to drugs or suicide. Be aware, those of you who carelessly spread rumors, that you are killing people.
Oh my god, you're such a drama queen. No, you're not. You're not killing people if you joke about them being a pedophile. Shut up.
I've seriously contemplated ending my own life.
Oh, no one cares.
Part of it is the pain of knowing that thousands of people think this terrible thing about me.
Thousands of people that you're never going to see and have no impact on your life. It doesn't matter.
Part of it is knowing that I cannot escape it.
Yes, you can. Just go offline. You've basically escaped it. Within the next few months, no one's going to remember you or your dumb video. They'll move on to another dumb thing. People in your comment section are universally positive towards you. I get more shit in my boogie video than you've gotten in like the last 6 videos.
Everything is online and always will be.
Yeah, it's always online, but it's not always relevant, and most people don't care about things that aren't immediately relevant.
There are people who are dedicated to doxing me and already have, so that even if I were to quit YouTube, this would still follow me.
Doxing's not a big deal, alright? Like, the worst thing that's gonna happen is someone's gonna send you a bag of shit in the mail. Just throw it away, who cares? Don't open packages from people you don't know. What are they gonna do? Are they gonna call your employer and say you made a video defending pedophilia? What's your boss gonna do? He's gonna call you in from the cashier station at the Rite Aid and you're gonna explain what your video was about, and he's probably gonna go like, alright, well, just don't talk about it to the customer.
There are people dedicated to looking through everything I've ever posted online for jokes and other quotes to be taken out of context to build some kind of case against me.
It's not really a case against you, it's just because it's funny.
Part of it is knowing that I can never prove that I am not what they claim. After all, how can you ever prove to someone that you don't think something?
Well, then don't prove it. Just ignore it. It doesn't matter.
Part of it is a socialization effect. You begin to believe the things people say about you. You begin to question if you secretly are the things they say, and maybe you've just kept it hidden from yourself.
Maybe that's true for like really abstract concepts. That's not true for something like being a pedophile. If literally everyone in my life told me I was a murderer, I wouldn't believe I was a murderer. Because I'd be certain I'd never murdered him.
The idea that you might be such a thing is enough to make you want to kill yourself on its own. Part of it is knowing that I will lose out on potential friends and business opportunities for the remainder of my life. The only way out is death. This is despair.
Who cares? Anyone, like, who really believes you're a pedophile, they weren't going to be friends with you in the first place. And I sincerely doubt you were ever going to get business opportunities for being a furry commentator on YouTube. If anything, this has helped. If you put that video public again, and you let it sort of build up, that'll bring all your other videos up, because people will come to see your other shit because they're funneled through that video. And that'll open up new opportunities with different companies. Do you really think fucking G Fuel cares that people think you're a pedophile? No. Keemstar's been fucking shilling G Fuel for decades. Plural. Decades plural. He's been doing this for the last 20 years, baby.
And all of this, not because I did anything that hurt anyone, but because I said something that people didn't like. In the depths of despair, there are only 2 ways out. Give in or self-actualize.
This is some dumb bullshit for the rest. This is some dumb anime bullshit for the rest of the video, where he talks about just a bunch of nonsense that's supposed to make him sound profound, or make his situation sound like it matters, or like he's got a solution. He doesn't. The rest of the video is just dumb bullshit.
If your morality dictates that you should drive someone to the brink of suicide because of the ideas they have, or for who they show compassion to, or for the relatively harmless mistakes they've made years ago, or simply for the lulz, then I reject your morality.
I reject your morality, and I substitute it with my own.
I do not believe in the objectivity of morality.
I don't know what the objectivity of morality has to do with any of this in the first place. He just felt like he had to explain that for some reason.
I do not believe that someone is wholly good or wholly evil. I do believe that the most condemned person is capable of great things, and the most well-intentioned individual is capable of unparalleled evil.
What does this have to do with anything? Where did this come from?
I have come to the realization that people are not good or evil in the way Western society sees it.
Western society. Jesus Christ. Isn't New Zealand further east than Japan? I feel like New Zealand has the same ideals as the rest of the Western world.
They are only themselves. It is others who force morality onto them and label their thoughts and actions as good or evil. In this way, I too am both good and evil, and they work together as one. I made that video out of compassion for misunderstood and condemned people. I made it for reasons I see as good. And I gave it an
I don't
overtly
like that it
offensive
looks
title
like his
for personal
avatar is giving
gain,
veg.
something I see as evil. I made a video condemning the furry community as a call to action for reform, something I see as good. And once again, I gave it an overtly...
Do you see how he's minimized everything wrong he's done, from making shitty arguments to just clickbait? Like, that's the evil he's done, is trying to play the YouTube game. And he talks about it like he fucking murdered a man in cold blood to stop him from raping a child, or something to that effect. There's a time and a place for tone. Like, not everything is the end of the fucking world, guys.
I've defended people on YouTube for the simple fact that no one else would, and I believe that everyone deserves someone on their side. I've also done these things because I knew it would get attention and I'd get paid. I joined the army because I wanted to be a hero. I wanted to make the world a better place. And I joined because I needed a job and I didn't care if it meant aiding in the deaths of people I've never met.
Aiding in the deaths. Yeah, he definitely was not a combatant.
I yelled at my teachers in high school when I thought they were being unfair to myself and other students because I have a lust for fairness. And I did it because I hated being there and just wanted to rebel.
Oh, the school system sucks, you don't understand me.
So, I will continue to call out unfairness and injustice when I see it. And I will do it for reasons you will both see as good and bad. It's in my nature to do so. It's how I escape from despair.
What the fuck are you what the fuck? That doesn't mean anything. This is 8 minutes of pure bullshit. And admittedly entertaining bullshit. I recently subscribed to Kothism, and I'm very happy I did, because this video is great. In a bad fucking way, but it's great. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with Kothism over the next, hopefully forever, actually. Fuck, I mean, to say that I have... Is there anything I have to say to even finish this? It kind of speaks for itself. If I could, I'd just cut his video up into a string of bullshit and upload that to my channel. But you can't do that, and it'd be kind of fucked up, and I wouldn't be able to monetize it. And if I can't fucking monetize it, what's the point? If I don't get YouTube money, how am I gonna scuba? If I can't scuba, what's all this been for? So I guess that's that. I mean, there you go. Hopefully the next Kothism video is a little more coherent, and there's a little more meat to it that I can sink my teeth into. Or maybe I just won't do another Kothism video and I'll find something more entertaining to do. I probably won't do anything, and I'll just sit in this dingy-ass room and I'll watch Kamen Rider for 6 hours again, like I did yesterday and the day before it. I'm gonna do right when I finish hitting record. So goodbye, fuckfaces. Video's over.